fracture was intact, and they'll forever be. I ain't on some, oh, I'm a celebrity, I deal with the real, so if it's artificial, let it be. I seen people caught in love like whirlwinds, listening to these squads and listening to girlfriends. That's exactly the point where they whole world ends. Lies come in, that's where the drama begins. And she like, yeah.
If you were worried about where I've been or who I saw, what club I went to with my homies, baby, don't worry, you know that you got me. If you were worried about where I've been or who I saw, what club I went to with my homies, baby, don't worry, you know that you got me. If you were worried about where I've been or who I saw, what club I went to with my homies, baby, don't worry, you know that you got me. If you were worried about where
If you don't know, then I'll say it. So don't ever want folks. 6 folks who can share up to like 2 pieces each, 3 pieces each, you feel me? All right. At this point in time, y'all, I'm probably gonna DM folks who are sharing to let me know how old you are and where do you rep. But right now, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it off to our MC for the night, the one, the only, okay, Sierra Coleman. Woo, air horn, air horn. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, guys, hello and welcome. For one, everyone in the space, to everyone watching without the space. And hey, if you're just here listening to have a good time, how are you? Hey. So, thanks to Sandy's gracious, very gracious, wonderful introduction. Just in case you guys don't know, I'm Sierra. I am one of the youth leads here at U Speaks. I can say that now. I'm official. This is my 3rd time they brought me back. I can do this now. And basically, welcome to the U Speaks Under 21 open mic. You're probably wondering what was taking us so long, but don't worry, it's all fun. We're just here to have a good time, read some poems, and you guys are just gonna get spit at, but in the best way possible. No hurtful spitting, all good spitting, no real spitting. Let's make that perfectly clear. On the mic spitting, word spitting, good spitting. So, first of all, I would like to thank you, Speaks, because like I said, they brought me back for the 3rd time. And you know, I have a way of just getting into places. Second of all, I would like to welcome not only, myself, because Sandy gave me a great introduction, but our DJ is Gabe, DJ Gabe, just in case you guys didn't see, but Gabe's on the mic, he's on the tune. So if y'all were like listening, like, dang, this was a really good song, thank Gabe. Curated by Gabe himself. We have our list keeper, Sandy. We have Aaliyah. We got Joan. We got Britt. We have all these people on the production team and some special guests I will introduce later. So if you see someone, hey, she didn't introduce them, I'm saving them. I'm going to make sure you guys get to them. So besides at the venue, where are we? Online, of course, which makes it even better. It's even more accessible for you guys. You guys get to, in the comfort of your home, watch an open mic, and you don't even have to leave. So you could be in your pajamas, get a drink, get a snack, and if you're just tuning in, get comfortable. So I would like to thank all the writers, like I said, the production team. We're streaming on YouTube, but we're also on Zoom, and that takes a lot of work. And we are so grateful to everyone who helps put this together, because it wouldn't be running if we didn't have people behind the scenes putting it together. And we're just here to give teens a good space to, like I said, spit some poems, some raps. Whatever you guys have, we'll take it. We want it. Want it. And I would just like to say, really quickly, before we get into some fun shout-outs, in case you guys have any poems, just make sure to give a little trigger warning. Trigger warning, it includes this. So, if you decide you guys who are listening to the poems, take a step back. We have some access, a place where you guys can get moved to a breakout room just in case you guys don't want to hear it, or maybe even afterwards where you need the breather, because we want to make sure this is a safe space where not only you guys can speak your truth, but also if you don't want to listen due to whatever could be going on, we want to make that accessible to you and make sure you guys are heard, felt, and seen. Okay, and this is probably one of my favorite parts. So give it up for all the writers in the building listening, all the poets, the rappers, the teens, the adults, because and this is the musicians. Let's give it up for y'all. Where y'all at? Because a lot of musicians have been dropping albums. Cough, cough, like Doja Cat, Tyler the Creator, Lil Nas X dropped today, Montero. Listen to it, the songs are good. And basically, let's give some snaps, guys. Let's get comfortable with each other. Are we ready? We are ready. So even if you guys aren't gonna unmute, just snap it up. I really can't snap, but I got something going on right here. So snap it up, guys. Let's get it going. We are ready to have a good time. And then when I say this is corny, and I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, it's corny, and I like corny, and we're gonna roll with corny. So when I say youth, I want you guys to unmute and say Speaks, because that's why we're here. We're here for a U Speaks open mic, and it wouldn't be something without a calm response. And yes, like I said, it's corny. And what about it? So when I say youth, you guys say speaks, okay? It's okay if no one wants to unmute the first time, but let's go. And it's gonna be funny because we all have different audios, so it's gonna lag. So be prepared. So when I say youth, you say
Speaks.
Okay, that was pretty very concise. I like that. When I say youth, you say
Speaks.
and then we're gonna go for one big one. When I say youth, you guys say
Speaks.
yes. That's what I love to hear. And without further ado, before I get into some, information, let's just get into the first person. But on deck, because we have to make sure our people are prepared, we have Chloe, but on the mic, can I introduce where is it? Because I know it's here. The Alameda County Youth Poet Laureate, Zoe Dorado, hop on the mic.
Guys, thanks for the introduction, Sierra. Wow. Okay, so it's actually kind of funny because this first poem is from one of Jaira's workshops, who's gonna be the featured performer at the Slam tonight. And it was like she was hosting a workshop on sort of like journalistic poetry because she's a journalist. And like one thing they were talking about was like the idea of memory and like both how we write nonfiction and sort of creating writing pieces, and memory as something that can be like unreliable, something that's sort of like non-linear, and like all the fragments we collect or choose to collect, and like weave together in order to like make sense of something, and like really whose perspectives we're paying attention to. And so this poem I wrote a little after Father's Day, thinking about my grandfather, my Lolo, who passed away back in 2019, but like specifically watching my dad go through grief and like going through losing someone you love, and how it kind of makes you feel like a child again. And so this poem came out of that workshop. But yeah, okay. Nobody remembered when the Blockbuster became a burger joint. Some years ago, Dad said. By that, I mean back when metal discs were the epitome of nighttime, when we were all too tired to think of what to eat tonight, when tonight was given an offering from the aisles of DVDs and Blu-rays. A building resting on the corner of CV Boulevard and San Miguel cut into a late night, but tonight we don't have burgers, or drive-thrus, or movies packed in plastic. Tonight, I want to tell you about the film where all the children watch their fathers drive from the front seat of a car, where the father is actually the movie itself, where you see Dad cry at the movie because it reminded him of his dad. And so, I imagine Lolo is here too, driving through the thicket of red echoes of tail lights into blue night, blue enough to convince anybody who's looking that the father is actually the son, and also the daughter, and every watchful eye that tells you to look away from the ocean, or the sky, or whatever would dare to swallow you, or that you would dare to swallow, whole, oh holy, this trinity made by the bodies in our vehicle, what keeps us moving, our breath I mean. You tell yourself to speak quieter, keep quieter under this breathing technique mastered, tell me a secret I won't keep, I just need to hear something entering the body, proof that it wants to take, proof that it is asking for all the fathers to come down through the moon roof and ride together all the way home. By home, I mean me, my dad, and his dad, and the breath that escapes their mouths with each palm offered to a shoulder, to a sentence ending with, I'm here, say, I'm here now, and a whole lineage of talk cuffed beneath the breath will pass into the cars, extending from McDonald's to Manila, to the bedroom in the house, to the bed itself surrounded by a bed of arms, bed of small breath. Lolo says I'm still here, like I want you, yes you in the back seat to hear this too. Let the radio dying off blend into my skin, into my eyes sitting in shotgun, in the seat, face, moment, turning, and looking back at you. Okay, let's see, what should I share? Let's see, this is another one I wrote about my grandfather. It was a little earlier before I wrote that one. It's called Muling Pagsilang, or Rebirth. Ganito ka magsisimula. This is how you begin, this is how you begin. Lolo shapes lips into orison, Gravity pulls his temples to rest, bedroom speckled dim pink. Makes brown flecks on skin bend constellations on cheeks, the crease underneath the crow's feet snap at the crinkle of smile, of savor, of silence bending down in prayer. Listen, he says, I'm going to tell you a story. And I am certain this has happened before. How I found myself caught in this performance, called myself trapeze artist, you, terrified of heights. How I've tried to keep in time with this trust, a flight in perfect polyrhythm we play mid-air duet in perpetual motion. But when I hear Lolo slip sighs in between the yellow of his teeth, slick, so it only rounds his gum rim as if forgetting exposition, as if forgetting brown, because what is origin without archipelago? How do you stain words with born? Not here, not here, not here, I ask. But what is here if not this room, yours? I've tucked ourselves in, if not this lucid dream, slipped like quick air, hands empty. Doesn't this look graceful even when I'm falling? When you're falling, notice, this has happened before. How history is left in suspended animation, looking and searching through you, for you, restless. At the back corner of an 8th grade classroom made you sit resigned, Philippine-American War summarized in 5 sentences. This has happened before. How I've dug and dug at this empty excavation site of 381 years under colonization, wondering if reconstruction ever falls silent, ever stops to look at the fall, the impact rests on concrete. A textbook. Cold. And so my 4th grade history project was on Magellan. Adorned his name with explorer, legacy for new world. He claims Las Islas Filipinas for King Philip II to reclaim the souls of los indios. Conquistadores burning books written in Babayin. You ask me why I'm disappointed when the hero dies at the hands of savages. Lapu-Lapu's victory I did not let myself claim as I tiptoed over euphemisms dropped like it was instinctive. Like how I've learned to smile. Watching the corners at the edge of your mouth become sharp, speaking like glass each time it breaks. I guess I forgot you were barefoot. Taught to get used to broken skin, broken body. Sometimes I don't know how to pull it out. Pull it out, because what does it mean to unlearn something? And what does it mean to be part of it, to call it out, call it in, so maybe it'll untangle itself from falling through. Hayaang huminga. Let it breathe, let it breathe. Like maybe this isn't stillborn, but still learning how to pick up the pieces and build something else like fire that bends and shapes and allows this apoy, apakikibaka. I remember how healing is an act of resistance, of how you are still growing roots through the broken cracks. I remember that light can be invisible but still exist, how I miss knowing energy can't be dismantled, disentangled from this city, this house, this room, where I'm certain this has happened before. Where my head rests on you, Lolo, your stomach a sweet musk pambahay sinking into wrinkles of belly, of warmth, of whole, holy, our bodies entangled, sinking into duvet, how it holds the space together, rising and falling, tethering these 4 walls, pulsating beat by beat. Even if I don't know what will happen next, how hear and wake and please look up at me, how I'm sorry I twisted my throat, wringing it out empty until I was leaden and floating all at once. This has happened before. I'm still caught at the height of your breath, called myself trapeze artist, still terrified of what happens when this rhythm breaks. And so I lay my right ear and my left arm and count your inhales and exhales, the sound of this room, this beautiful quietness, what pulls me in each time I ask you, I want you to stay. What does it mean to leave? When you've been part of the room for so long, I guess I forgot how much space you held, how I'm falling, wondering if you'll catch me, hold me, say it was just a dream, and carry me back into bed. So maybe I'll pull myself into eider down as you breathe out melody, and tone a cooling down into quiet night, remembering rhythm and figure, an archive of you, your sowing of seeds after all this uprooting. Ganito ka magsisimula. This is how you begin. This is how you begin. As you play each bell like prayer, as you sing me to sleep. Thank you.
Guys. Whoa. Okay, first of all, can I just say I agree with Sandy. I need to read this one day. Can we just take a moment to appreciate Zoe's writing? We got taken on a journey. You know, the first poem talking about her Lolo and her dad, and then opening with her Lolo again. But then you take us and you expand. And Gabe said this is like reading a book, and you unpacked in a beautiful way where we understood everything. You know, where I don't want the hero to win. Sometimes the hero doesn't need to win. Ancestry and what is it without the, I'm gonna butcher the name, but the arpeggio, butchered it. But it was like that. Like, I don't understand. And this is here, guys. You get stuff like this from the slam. So keep tuning in because you get amazing pieces like this. And can I just say one more time? I dropped the register for all the U Speaks programs. And really quick, one more, like, guys, let's just snap it up one more time for Zoe. Like I said, Gabe said she made a book. And what better way than to publish a book than with the Spread the Fire program that U Speaks has to offer with Human Win, where you guys get to learn how to turn your poems into real publications, a book of poetry, an actual book. So sign up. The link for all the workshops is in the chat, where you can turn something like this into an actual real book. So, I mean, you should check it out. So, now, on deck, we have Sarah Abbas. I hope I said that right. Oh, and also really quickly, Zoe is 16. Can you, mind blown? Yeah, I said that right? 16? Okay, cool. Glad we got that out the way. Amazing talent. So, like I said before, on deck, we have Sarah Abbas. And right now, we have Chloe David up on the mic. Please join us.
Hello, my name is Chloe. I'm part of the Spokes cohort for this year, and I will be sharing two really spokes. Okay, Sandy. So I'll be sharing two short poems. One of them is also actually about my grandfather, but for the first one, forgive me for recycling poems, but it's a poem that I had written for like a women's health class, and yeah, so this one is called A Declaration of Independence. Okay. Women's bodies have always been mercilessly stripped of clothes, of dignity, of rights, of voice, of respect, like the shell of a skin left empty, carved out by the hands of the patriarchy. Her inside stuck between the teeth of misogyny, she is left fragile and hollow, but her ribcage remains left inside to remind her that she still has a beast to contain. So unstring her from your teeth and apologize for touching something so sacred with dirty hands. Okay, that's I'm sorry, they're like short, but you know, a poem's a poem. Okay. And now this second one is a poem about my grandfather who passed away 3 years ago. I did it for this event, which was like a virtual vigil at my school, SF State. And we basically were honoring people of the past. I think the event was called Honor the Past. And yeah, here was my poem for this. They say funerals are for the living, and I can testify for the truth in that. We have a habit of doing things for selfish reasons and just hoping that we aren't. We spill tears into our eulogies and hope the dead can resonate with our words as we pray for their spiritual presence because it brings us closure. My grandfather was a religious man, and sometimes I find myself blaming his faith for my loss, blaming the herbs and essential oils he used in place of hospital treatments. He too had a habit of doing selfish things and hoping that he just wasn't. And sometimes I find myself blaming his faith for my loss, because I too have a habit of doing selfish things and hoping that I actually am not. That's all. Thank you guys for listening.
Chloe, you better stop playing with us. As if you know you didn't just come through and just, you know, just like tore it down. Hugh is saying publish it. I agree. Also, speaking of Hugh again, his workshops start October 9th, and they go for 8 weeks after that every Saturday. But can I just say that, like what I love about poets and their poetry is that they take us through a journey, but it's so nice to feel that personal connection that sometimes, you can't really get. But like the grandfathers, you guys are making us feel something, like you're talking about your family, but like y'all are making me feel like y'all family's my family. Like that's my Lolo, that's my grandpa, like and it's so personal because you talked about, women and then your grandpa, and you're making us feel this human connection, which I love, and I think you've done perfectly in such a short amount of time. Who needs a long poem when it can be short and sweet and talk about everything you need to? So I would say that was beautifully done. And of course, with these open mics, like I said, you guys can hear stuff like this. All you have to do is just sign up and we can have a good time. By the way, these open mics are every second and fourth Friday of the month, And fun fact is that this isn't even the end of the open mics. The next half is the team poetry slam. So the fun's not over. It's really just beginning. So, I mean, if you want more stuff like this, then come through. It's great. We do so many fun programs like Spread the Fire and our after school writing workshops that are every Wednesday. And oh my gosh, I love them. That's how I started doing this, from 3 to 5 PST. If you're like me and you're from Eastern Standard Time, you have to do the math, which is 6 to 8. So you guys could come through, because you don't even have to wait for the open mics to hear good poetry. It's all around you. The writing workshops that are on. And without further ado, because who wants to hear me blab on forever? I know I don't. So on deck, we have Quinaya. I hope I said that right. When you come on, please correct me. I'm fine with that. But right now, we have Sarah Abbas is on the mic.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Hope you're doing well. This first poem is titled Homo Divination. If you've watched The Craft, then maybe you'll be able to kind of get some of the references. Here it goes. I have always known what lived inside me. Echinacea, calamus, persimmon. My mother's prayer conjuring shaitan to expel the sacrilege. I'm left with no choice, to confess or be confessed, to Islam, to spell my foul play, to summon a being you couldn't imagine. I give my offering, clownfish, butterfly vapor, royal fowl, serpent of envy, fiber each thread, hail to the guardians, the power of air and invention. Hear me, oh prophetic chemistry, show me your power, your lightning white game, pierce the storm within my sin, waves bleeding, veins crashing, birthing earth itself from within my pupils. Fill me, finally. Bring the dead sharks to shore. I crucify God with this guilt, with my body's ingredients, this gift of silver tongue, maggot dow skull, scorpion snake dance around my iron cusp. I will never stop spinning until everything is made holy again. I will kill you first from your own hands, slit the same skin you guilted me, blade this magic, thunder an Arabic-sized wound. I heal myself a new wrist, to Phoenix, a daughter greater than your prophet. Sarah, where are you? Sarah, I am so sorry. Don't play this game. Why aren't you dead? Leathering my silver tissue, wound my every atom. Sarah, I am so sorry. I'm here in the mirror. I'm every atom and fiber. I'm every abused dead thing. Cockroach throat, maggot sorcery. I know I'm a little crazy. Stab what you can find. You are not my friend here. I will send you all mad. Right. Okay. The next poem, I just moved to college. It's like my second week or something. I don't even know. It feels like months already. But this next poem is something that I've been working on. It's inspired by an Anne Carson poem. The title is I think of this as soon as I wake up. Skin makes skin. What is bruised and broken still is. A body cannot lie even if the lips do. Opening mirrors like mistakes, ripe as a good peach. My lover calls me that, and I tell her I'm not soft enough, not nearly as sweet, like a good Muslim who watches dreams turn into smoke. I wait all day for a dead friend to call me out from my foolish spells. My worry brings no one back. In the street, we are dark shadows, made angular by fleeting light. This world can only give us pebbles, choices, like surrendering good love or wearing sin like a last name. I sipped bland tea because I want.
In my mother's room, I smiled at the scent of shea butter as it glistened on my skin when the sun hits it just right through the window. And I remember how it felt when I went outside, the feeling of me becoming one with the ocean while I laid in its bed with it caressing my scalp as it sang to me, shea butter, baby, fucking up my pillow. It sang me to sleep. Took me a while to stop crying those nights. After I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't do I didn't do a trigger warning. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But took me a while to stop crying those nights. After fear kicked down our door and beat my mother until she just couldn't take it anymore. I sank, then I drowned. I tried to take the only valuable thing I cherished away, my life. I often reminisce on how growing up was no crystal stair. Never really had a pot to piss in, but I was grateful. Grateful that I got to see the everlasting moonlight that held me when I even as much as shed a tear. As I remembered, when fear looked us in the eyes and said, I am black. I mean, I am back. Back from the dark you casted me into. How ironic, right? How can something so dark be casted into something darker? How can fear still love us like his own children, but beat us when we so much as breathe? I remember the amount of applause he received after he apologized. He was such a good actor. As he laughed, his words wrapped their hands around my neck and choked me until I couldn't breathe. Until there was no more joy left in me. Until all I felt was pain. My mother, the alchemist, picked me up, dusted me off, unleashed courage, who kicked down the door and led me to the end of that dark hallway where fear laid his head at night. She told me, cast him out with 3 simple words, 3 simple phrases. I am powerful, I am Black, and I am a woman. Thank you. And then, timely, definitely timely. I wanted to share that piece because I felt like it resonated with my life currently, especially while quarantining. I feel like there's a lot going on, a lot of feelings that come up, especially in the home life. And yeah, I felt like that this would be the perfect time to share it. The second piece I wrote, I kind of wrote at the beginning of quarantine. I don't know if anybody will remember this piece, but yeah. I heard sounds of destruction, the constant pounding upstairs from babies falling. I just realized that babies were falling a long time ago. I heard people talking about this social distancing shit. White people already held themselves at a distance when they seen a group of Black kids. Techies are nowhere to be found once they found out these walls talk back, spitting everything back at them. These walls asked if they locked the door because these niggas be wildin'. I heard the city fall before it had to go into recovery. crying babies woken up because single parents in San Francisco shifting. The next shift, I know these walls talk back, but these single parents are worried about keeping the money talking. And that's all I have. Thank you.
So you better go on now. I think you realize that, right? I don't remember. It doesn't matter if we remember it or not. It's yours, right? Is it not?
Yeah.
Is it you're not? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So remix it. Like Chloe said, oh, this is when we remix it. Ain't nothing wrong with doing it again because a good thing can be done and done multiple times. And I would just like to say, beautiful. Like, you guys curate these poems to your stories. And, you said, like, I was drowning. But then you also do poems like this, and you're here with us, and you're present. And I think one beautiful thing that I interpreted from your poem is that sometimes it's okay to drown, and then that's when you learn to you swim or you float because you're here and you accepted that. I am powerful. I am Black. I am a woman. You drowned, and then you learn to swim. And I think that's just a beautiful way, not only talking about your story, but what's going on right now. That perfect balance between my body and the air. Just in case you know. If you get it, it's the You Speaks anthology, which you can probably still buy or take a peek at. Yup. And you did Shea Butter Baby, obviously, by Ari Lennox. We stand her. She just came out with the new song Pressure. But you sang in it. And I mean, what better way than to sing than to do a workshop about rhyming and reasoning with our guy, EJ Walls, where you guys can get a rap workshop, singing, rhyming. You spit. No, you will sang for us on the mic right now. So what better way than to do a workshop about rapping and rhyming and hip hop, which is also like, it's a fall session like Hugh's. But it starts Thursdays, October 7th, and it's also running for 8 freaking weeks. Every Thursday. Is that not crazy? That you guys get all this good talent, these workshops at your disposal, and we are happy to give them to you guys. So, oh my gosh, okay guys. So, I'm very happy today. Obviously, I'm here. So that just adds to it. But also, yeah, let's give it up for Anaya, because literally, yeah, it's not Anaya, everyone, guys. Let's make it's Queen Naya. Let's speak on her name right, okay? Okay, because I'm sorry, Queen. I made a mistake in the beginning. It's Queen. I understand that now. I get it. Yeah, literally, as Gabe said, all hail. Which we do in the space, we do. So like I said, besides introducing the poems, which is like my favorite part, this is like my second favorite part. I'm so glad I'm hosting today. Because I could read a whole lot of stuff, which I will, but I would personally love to introduce our featured guys. I started You Speaks workshops with them in the summertime during quarantine, and I met them and I was like, oh my gosh, like this person's really cool. Like they are amazing. And like I've gotten to see her grow. Pronouns are she, they, so yeah, we're good. And they are abysmal. And I just bussing through. Yes, I did say bussing. And it's not about food. And you guys can cringe at it, and that's okay. But I worked with them personally. I've heard their poems. I knew them before they got famous, is what I get to say. Before the clout hit, I got to say I was there. I got to see it in the making, and I have seen them grow over the span of like a year. And it's no better way than to introduce Jira Dang, who is a writer here in Southern California. I'm pretty sure she's been with You Speaks for a while. She's done the open mic. She's done the workshop. She's been here. And it's her passion for journalism and poetry. And their work, you guys, is insane. It has appeared in the Asian American Writers Workshop, the podcast, VS, You Speaks, TEDx, CSULB, Get Lit, a human rights campaign, and they even have their own workshop called Blooming with You. It's once every Sunday, so sign up. And I'm very happy to say that as of now, summer 2021, they are an intern for LA Times, guys. That's insane. And they'll also be an intern at NPR's Diverse Sources Desk. And the way they write, it's everything you can need in an experience. And I'm so glad to bring it to you guys. So without further ado, I've done a lot of talking, but let me introduce Jira Dang. And I'm so happy.
Hi y'all, thank you so much for having me. Wow. I can't express how grateful I am to You Speaks. I mean, Gabe and Sandy were like leading workshops during that awful summer of the pandemic. Also, please forgive the noise outside. My neighborhood's, there's stuff always happening in Long Beach, which it was just why I love this city, but it is kind of crazy outside my window. But and Youth Speaks is kind of where I think like I was kind of feeling that space and reclaiming a lot of my own writing and self-expression at a time when I felt like we're all like in isolation, trying to navigate all that stress of like, oh my gosh, what do I do during this pandemic? So actually this first poem that I would like to read for you all is kind of a reflection on that period of time when we were all kind of struggling through the summer. This one's called Girl in Isolation. Girl in Isolation. After Olivia Gatwood's Instagram page collaging self-portraits of girls in isolation. While she was away at college, the blankets uncreased in her absence. The books on her shelves peeled themselves open to imitate the sensation of fingers thumbing pages. The clothes in her drawers wandered to remember movement in air. In the month she's been home, the backyard lemon tree and green onions have no idea what to do with the teenager sprawled in St. Augustine, or when she throws rocks into her neighbor's backyard to scare the squirrel teething on telephone wires. They reason her roots are not transplanted yet. The steel frame of her bed grumbles under her shifting weight. At all hours of the day, her stories collect dust. The drawers are in riot. She hasn't changed her sweat in 4 days. Toothbrush has been released of plaque scraping duties for the week. Then the poems spill from the baby blue walls to pool in her arms and tell her to drink. There's a soft rebirthing when she draws the liquid and strength required to let herself cry. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I just feel like there's so many emotions as I'm reading it and like reliving that experience of like all of the craziness of the past year and still of this fall. I've been reflecting a lot about how I've been entering spaces and the importance of like naming oneself. So I have my English name, or I guess you could say my parents chose a name for me in English, Jaira, and like my last name is Dang, but it's actually pronounced Deng in Chinese. And so like my Chinese name is Deng Yile, which means actually deriving from happiness. So like I feel like I think the stereotype or the truth is like if you've grown up in like a bicultural family, you're constantly dealing with these like identity crises, which I've kind of heard kind of resonate through other poems that folks just read. So this next one that I wanted to read for you all, it's kind of about navigating kind of the gray areas between your culture, how you name yourself in certain spaces, and how you navigate all of that. And this one is called Object Permanence. And I am currently trying to scroll down to it. Sorry, there's, that Rolodex of like poems every poet has, and you're like, yes, I think some people know what I'm talking about. All right, this one is called Object Permanence. When I reach, it just escapes me, falling in perpetuity between the precipice of home and foreign oceans. When I walk into a room, how do I name myself? The celestial being, a flashing beacon in the night, The stalwart embrace, a rooted tree knotted around the eroded cliffside. A shift in weight, and the sea rises, the mountains fall. Such things hold the bias. A stake in the future. How long has it been since someone has touched me? Caressed the flat plains of my face, kissed the almonds of my eyes, crawl under the yellow flush of my skin. Will you have me as strong-willed and unbending as others prefer, where I'm always lost, never found? I'm begging you not to look away. I'm on my knees interceding to the gods of tomorrow. End of sorrow, abolish peril, end of want, abolish fruit and labor. My siblings and I meet, touching as cherubim, before our reflection and bless that image fully. Yeah, so my hope is just that wherever you are in like your journey and figuring out how you name yourself in spaces, that you are holy. You are amazing. I mean, I think Youth Speaks really does an amazing job of empowering youth poets. So I'm so glad that you all are here at this open mic and speaking your truth. Alrighty. I think that the last poem that I wanted to read for you all today is a poem that I wrote recently, kind of describing how I've been feeling seeing everyone again in person, and how it's kind of like a weird experience of navigating the excitement and also the stress of like, oh my God, do I like know how to talk to people? Like, like it's been a minute, you know? So this one's called Seeing You Again. Over the reckoning of last year, I've turned 19 to 21, watching womanhood arrive from the windows of my childhood home. Taking in the sunset's bruised haze, I pine for the subway upheaval of a city that could kill me. I've grown grateful for the rush hour traffic on the 101, the smog browning the Sierra's tips, calcifying my lungs. In quarantine, my body has become a flag of me. I confess to having fallen in love with strangers in the backdrop of their bedrooms, through the dim light of a Zoom screen. We are relearning tenderness in the human gaze. This uncertainty is a blessing. Small talk we took for granted, now breathing each other's words with consequence. I ask my friends to tell me where their sadness creeps between sleep and work, because I'm trying to write where a cough is just a throat clearing, where we bloom fresh produce from the community garden. Yes, there's a future where the choice are you and I gathered together, all our familiar edges, elbows rubbing, like hands instinctively rise to cup a lover's head between your palms. Thank you so much for letting me read that. I lied. I have one more poem I would like to read for you all. So I'll close out with this one. I think there was like a lot of feelings I had, again, many feelings as poets, but this past March, like really had me messed up. Like I was like in a place where I just like could not, like, I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And then I was also then, you know, trying to write a poem that kind of encapsulated all these experiences of just like what it means to be like Asian American, what it means to look always perpetually foreign in this country, what it means to like at the intersection of like being queer, and then what does it all mean, like all of that. And then trying to put that to words in a poem. I will stop explaining and I will just read it. But this one's called This Body Is Not a Virus. This body is not a virus, after Fatima Ashgar. I'm dreaming of new futures where I claim the women who work the massage parlors, the fathers and mothers who leave behind continents, then pass down languages to their children. I'm blessing us gays, theys, and bays who kiss in open streets, or shuddered behind closed doors, I'm thanking my fight over the check aunties and uncles who drop off secondhand clothes and homegrown fruit. I call my people borderless when friends fly away and green cards fail to grow on trees. I'm here for the tragedy when another life is taken and when no metaphors can cup the loss. I pray for the words to hold us all. I pray words will never be enough. My mouth has been the exit wound of my family tree. I'm asking you to make it your altar, an offering of love and laughter to tide us through the storm and calm. The revolution in our hearts demands our pause. Stop dredging up those kingdoms and let your joy do the work. So, thank you so much, everyone. It's been such a pleasure and an honor to be like back here in this space as like, you know, reading to you all, but like, I don't know, I'm still learning. I'm still learning from Gabe and Sandy, and they're amazing. Y'all are so lucky to have them here in this space as your educators. So thank you so much for having me.
Can I just say, oh my gosh, I think I've heard My Body Is Not a Virus. I think you performed that before. I'm pretty sure. But to hear it again, it's not the same because it's different time, but it's still like the exact same, like as I remember the feeling of listening to it, you know. It's like when, and oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but Jira, did I pronounce that right? Jira? Because I definitely said Jira. Wait, what? Jira. Okay, Jira. And I definitely said your name. I'm sorry, but can I just say that with this, it's like, it's not this, it's like you take us, like you make us look deeper within ourselves depending on, you know, what our situation is, you know. Like you talk about the Asian American experience, which is very important, especially with everything that's going on right now, and these voices need to be amplified. And but then also you just make things, like you talk about things that everyone can feel, like the pandemic, and you just make everything feel closer at home. And it's like I'm not listening to like a poem, like I'm listening to a story from an old friend that I haven't talked to in a while, but it feels exactly the same. Like nothing has changed, but everything has changed, but in the best way. So with that being said, I really don't want this to end, but where can they find you to stay updated with your journey? Like you tried to leave giving us good poems and then not even plug yourself. And I don't like that.
You can pretty much like, I guess I'm mostly active on Instagram, probably like post too much. And then I feel like all the writers are on Twitter where Twitter's at, you know.
Drop your name. Drop the at.
My at. Okay. I'm bad at.
She was gonna run and leave without it.
I'm bad at capitalism. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. Okay, so I dropped my Instagram, or that's my Twitter and Instagram handle. Feel free to stay in touch with me there. As Sierra had mentioned, I run a class, but it's moving to monthly, third Sunday every month because of my crazy schedule. But I'd love to see you there. I have a couple of folks from U Speaks who've been coming pretty regularly into that space, and it's actually really wonderful. And I'd love to see you all there too. So thank you so much for having me.
It's called Blooming in Whirlwind. Once every Sunday. You should sign up. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate it so much, literally. It's so good, and I bet everyone who's stayed with You Speaks, who's met you in the workshops, is even better to see your growth back as a guest. And I can't thank you enough, like not only as me, but on like behalf of You Speaks, but like everybody. So thank you. Let's give it up one more time because it would be a crime not to. Yep, bam, 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 but like love. So I'm hitting you with love. Yup. And with that being said, that was the feature. And yes, you are mind blown. And yes, we will continue to mind blow you. You're welcome. You need it. So with that being said, for the Teen Slam, following the schedule, because that's what I'm going to do, I'm pretty sure everything is finalized. I'm going to put that out there right now. And if I'm wrong, someone will tell me I'm wrong. But you know what that means until we get to the Teen Poetry Slam, which is going to be run by Aaliyah. Yeah. Bam, 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 bam. It's break time. You guys just got hit with a whirlwind. of poems by poets. And who doesn't need a good break? You know, like, let's de-stress. Let's just take a big, deep breath. You know, and then let it all out. Yep, we did that. You guys did that. And we got to witness you guys doing that. You guys had a thing, did the thing, we watched the thing, and now we're enjoying the thing. So what better way than to hit you guys with a break? And I'm pretty sure we can go like standby, right? Break time? Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Before we head into the break, y'all, give it up one more time for our stunning, our stellar, our ever energetic youth MC, youth leads, repping up in the space, Sierra Coleman. Pew, 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 pew. Air horn, air horn, air horn, air horn. We love you, Sierra. We love you, Jaira. Thank you so much for joining us. And as Sierra mentioned, we are going to do a quick break and then head right into our Teen Poetry Slam. If you are in this Zoom room and you are under 21 and you would like to slam, no matter where you're coming from, send me a DM, please. Send me, myself, the list keeper, a DM. And we are going to head into a break, and we will be back in the next 10-ish minutes.
Also, a quick little word for my folks that are in this space. You're like, hey, I never heard of a poetry slam before, but I might be interested. If you're interested, like all it takes is one poem. And this could lead to an all-expense-paid trip to Washington, D.C. next summer, representing the Bay Area on this Poetry Slam team. So, yeah, like, take that leap of faith. We're going to hold you down. We're going to level up on you, just like it's the open mic. It's like an open mic, but you might win something.
Maybe some money.
You know? $50 to the winner.
Oh.
Actually,
why would you tell him 50? You should have been like, it's a pretty good number. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah. Now what? For $50?
One poem right now. That's all it takes.
Can I get $50 right now?
But let Sandy know.
Sandy, can I get $50 right now?
Right now, this moment? Moment? You about to. I mean, you about to get broken off since you just MC'd. I'm just saying.
Get me.
Oh, we got requests for Sierra to bust. Straight from the production OG. Straight from John Osato.
What does bust mean? What? Oh, anyways, Aaliyah, I'm illiterate. So I just lied. I didn't read that. Whatever that was.
Cool. So we're off the stream right now, right?
That was really subtle, Gabe. I love that.
Taking my time. too busy. I'm never too busy for you, babe. Never too busy.
Time to bring the bass back.
If they hating, got a price to pay. California on my license plate. Last year they ain't even like the bay. Damn, but we don't never trip. All I know is gas, bake, dip. No, we never trick on that bitch. No, I can't quit. No, I don't fuck with that mid bitch. But hey, put me on some. 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 Yeah, we really going dumb. Put me on some. 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 Yeah, we really going dumb. If they hating, got a price to pay. California on my license plate. Last year they ain't even like the bay. Damn, had to get it on my own. I could really get it if I want. You can't even get it on the phone. You ain't even know. I'll be with a bop getting down. I ain't gon' stop putting on. From the home of the slang. Yeah, bad bitches know my game. Yeah, big bag with a aim. Yeah, you ain't really what you claim. Why you always in the way? Fat ass little waist. Bet you gon' make it shake. Say you bout it but you ain't. Put me on some. 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 Yeah, we really going dumb. Put me on some. 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 Yeah, we really going dumb.
Stop babysitting, pass it. My fetty stretched like elastic. Yeah, bro, I gotta have it. Born to trap, survival tactics. I'm so spiced, I can't even feel my face. Disrespect, get out of place, then we gon' put you in your place. Bar none. All my little niggas on the run. All my little niggas go dumb. When they pull up on me in the traffic, they holler,
Put me on some. 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 Yeah, we really going dumb. Put me on some. 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 Yeah, we really going dumb. If they ain't got a price to pay. California on my license plate. If they ain't got a price to pay. California on my license plate. Put me on some. 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 Yeah, we really going dumb. Put me on some. 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 Yeah, we really going dumb.
That excessive heat warning will remain in effect for tomorrow for the majority of the Bay Area around the coastline, including San Francisco. They're under a heat advisory, but just how hot are we going to get?
You feel me? Type shit. Hey, look, I keep my arms up, still on gig mode. I'm never tripping cause these niggas got gizmos. I'm finna flip it till I can't, till I get more. I tell them every day, I live till I can't though. My niggas like, goddamn, he the best, bro. I'm like, hell yeah, say it with your chest though. With the S on it, with the flex on it. I got a bad bitch and she said yes on it. Let me win, let a nigga go in. I ain't got no time, but time in my hand. Let me just pull up, hop in. Fuck a plan, baby, let's give. Hey, baby, let's, hey. Can a nigga really go in? Gig mode being on 10, gig being on 10. Let a nigga really go in. Put that on mamas on 10, on mamas on E. Let a nigga really go in. Gig mode being on 10, nigga being on 10. Let a nigga really go in. Put that on mamas on Ken, on mamas on life all good, on God. Everywhere I'm good, on God. Let me smile, let me do it, let me mob. And all my niggas know that's my job. I'm in the yoni like that's my job. RP Young Kurt, I mob. We still high, feeling going dumb. I never trip cause the niggas still having fun. I know everybody say they got the rumble pack. I ain't trippin', boy, I bring the drummer back. Real winner, spent winner, making summer slaps. I'm in the villa and I'm feeling like the bay back. Ooh, look at him go, he so stewy. Oh, when I be in it, she so gooey. Oh, look at them get it, they go wow. Oh, see how I do it, they like how. Hey, can a nigga go in? Gig mode being on 10, nigga being on 10. Let a nigga really go in. Put it on mamas on kin, on mamas on kin. Can a nigga really go in? Gig mode being on 10, gig being on 10. Let a nigga really go in. Put that on mamas on kin, on A. Pull up at the party, hardly moving. Niggas talking, fuck that shit, we grooving. Yeah, you know I'm tardy all the time, but parties only start when I arrive. Schmobby, that's the way I always do it. Grew up hella faded off the music. Jack a Fappy hustler was the blueprint. Just a nigga out the 9 to 5.
Sometimes I'm green and I'm blue, plenty nights. Thought I couldn't carry through this for some time, but I'm strong when I'm weakest and brave when I buckle my knees.
This major right here, you know what I'm saying? Get him, baby. Get him, baby. Spine tingling. Rock it. Get him, baby. Spine tingling.
don't sit home. Don't sit home alone. Don't sit home alone. Pick up the phone and dial. For only $1 a minute, join the party. Don't sit home alone. Join the party.
the open mic and gave us just like a little bit to wet our palates as we get into this slam. I'm gonna kick it over to our host for the slam, who is Hugh. I am very excited because I will be coaching the BMB team with you this coming spring. And that's what we are here for. So we can find some young people to make up the Bay Area team and go to Brave New Voices. Passing it to you, Hugh.
Hello, everyone. Thank y'all so much for being here on a Friday night. I know, like, where else we're gonna be? It's a pandemic, but we're gonna be here. It is my job now to tell you a little bit about Poetry Slam. Poetry Slam is the competitive poetry event. We're here to provide a platform to celebrate some of the most incredible and urgent young voices in the Bay Area. And to do that, we're gonna we have made it a little fun competition. We have 3 judges tonight. Judges, can you like wave at the screen or react? The 3 judges we have today is Sarah, earlier from the open mic. We have Hannah, and we have Smiley. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about them. Okay, so let me look at the little bios. Smiley is a program manager for the Bayview Opera House in San Francisco, and a Youth Speaks alum. I asked Smiley what an unpopular opinion or hot take they have, and their hot take is God made a mistake when they made ants. And I honestly don't know if that's that much of a hot take. I think we can all agree that some insects are pointless. I know that we're like out here to save the bees, but like they're kind of scary. I mean, okay, I do not condone bee murder, but okay. Next we have Sarah. Sarah is a B&V alum and a performer for Youth Speaks. Sarah's unpopular opinion is that cats are much better than dogs, and I very much disagree, but that's okay. Sarah also, we just learned that Sarah is also my niece. Yeah, we are family. Yeah. Hannah, everybody wave to Hannah. Hannah is the managing director at Bats Improv in Northern California's longest running improvisationalist theater, improv theater and school. Is an admirer of the great work of Youth Speaks and loves to support it. And Hannah's unpopular opinion, being half British, half American, she thinks that American spellings are weird. Like, is it specifically like the U that's missing out of flavor or color?
Yeah, that and the fact that there are extra Z's in everything where I'm used to S's. It's really weird. I can't get used to it.
Gabe asked, is it gray with the EY or an AY?
Oh my God, now I'm looking at it, I don't know. Because you know, when you look at a word, it starts to look weird. And I don't know right now. Somebody help me out. Color, yeah, we have with a U. For sure.
I mean, it looks better with the U.
I think so.
Yeah. People of color. Okay.
Right.
Also, those are the hosts. Everybody give it up for them. They are going to do the thankless job and the difficult job of scoring these poems. And all the scores are silent. So we're going to keep the focus on the poems tonight. But the top poet of the night will advance on to the semifinals to compete for a spot in the Brave New Voices team coming from the Bay Area. All right, I think that's all I have for you. I'm gonna give it back to Aaliyah to take us away.
Thank you, and thank you, judges. We are so excited that you are here with us. We hope that you're impacted by these poems, as with everybody who's here just listening and kicking it. As we know, poetry can be powerful sometimes, especially when we got brave young folks out here spitting their truth. So just want to give a general content and trigger warning before we start the show. There might be some material in some of the pieces that might make you feel something, that might activate you or trigger you in a way emotionally or physically. So we just want to ask that you, one, be aware of that. Two, make sure that you make space to take care of yourself. We've also made space for you as well. Sandy is our access person this evening. So if you would like, hit up Sandy in the DMs if you need to just talk before your piece, after your piece, as an audience member. Whatever you need, we can hop in a little breakout room and just give you some time to decompress. So just want to make sure everybody knows that general trigger warning. Make sure you take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, your emotional health during this show, and we are here to support you. Before we get into the pieces, I just want to let's get into our bodies. Let's get ready to give these poets all the love that they deserve for coming out here and for being willing to put truth to power, to speak. Sometimes it can be scary. So if you're really feeling something that a poet said, I encourage you to snap, give them all the visual reassurance you can, use your quick reacts, and also hit up the chat. If you hear a line that just really sits with you and you're like, no, we all need to hear that again. Please make us read it again, make us hear it again, drop it in the chat. And yeah, permission to just show love however you need to show love. And also poets, just letting y'all know we're gonna be here for you. We're gonna be showing you love and giving you so much encouragement. Does that sound good? Everybody ready? You wanna try it out? Give me the affirmation right now. Yeah, that sounds good. Clap hand emojis, heart emojis, awesome. Yes. All right, so who's ready for the slam? Who's ready to hear some poems? No, you're not. Just kidding. No one's ready to hear poems yet. Not from the slam, at least, because we need a calibration poet. Before we get the young people out here busting, we got to have someone to get the judges ready. So that's the purpose of this calibration poet. You are going to score this poet as if they were any young person in the slam and use this to kind of calibrate yourself for the rest of the poems. Did you like the poems more than this, less than this, the same amount, differently? Because it's so hard to put numbers on subjective art. We understand. This is your time to feel it out, to see how that is. So without further ado, before we get into the slam, on deck, that means you're not coming up right now, but you're gonna be right after that, is Sierra. But right on the mic right now, give it up for our calibration poet, also known as our feature poet, Gyra. Air horn.
Oh my goodness, did not know I was going to be judged, but thanks for letting me calibrate for you all. This one is called Towards Fidelity. I'll follow, telescoped and spun skyward to astrolabe the layout of the flush and brittle in my lover's skin. If she asks me, I'll swear it down the Mariana Trench, so we make like Theseus, to and fro until arriving as strangers before heaven's door. Skin, bone, organ, eukaryote, atom. With thimble and needle, all threads lead to her name when I trace the taxidermy. My own kin tried to stone me, as in aiming to scarecrow the devil out of me, and here I am. Cardboard head with a grandfather clock for a heart, dream waking towards Neverland where fathers carve lineages through the rings of ancient sequoia. There we bleed myrrh and formaldehyde, lifting our offerings to a great other whose eye gazes towards us, hell and unflinching. Each time a knuckle whistles through the wind, a fault line quivers, the earth surges to swallow the man who has disturbed the quiet. At the end of the burrowing, I touch the light. My lover appears, her head cradled in the palm of my hand. Only then I release Helios to ride out our days, while I rest in my lover's bed in some high castle hidden in the thorn and thistle.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All the snaps, all the love. You're getting lots of love in the chat too. Jyra, our DJ, said that he loves how committed to love you are, which I agree. I mean, I heard arriving at strangers before heaven's door. I heard here I am with a cardboard head and a grandfather clock as a heart. Like, bars, absolute bars. They were going off. So judges, I know this is hard, but go ahead and come up with your scores in your head. See how you're feeling about the piece. Let it ruminate, let it marinate in you. And we're gonna have another poet coming up pretty soon, all right? So we got somebody else on deck. But on deck means that you're not coming up right now, you're coming up next. So once again, let's give all the snaps for Jyra, and let's keep the snaps going, keep it rumbling, keep the drum rolls happening for our first poet of the Teen Poetry Slam, Sierra.
Okay. I'm not crazy. I've rearranged every answer to try to make it make sense, but you make things more confusing than they should be. You speak in some code where you say things you want, but don't really mean. And somewhere along the way, I was supposed to read between the lines of what you did want, to the point where I can't understand what you want me to do or say anymore, that I have to think and think and think to somehow rack my brain around every puzzle you throw at me. And when I get it wrong, you laugh at my own incompetence. You don't understand the time and effort I put into understanding your every move, your thoughts, your emotions. And every time I seem to find the right path, I meet a dead end. The dead end you led me on and expect me to want to turn around and do it again. You're infuriated with my rage, but I'm not crazy. My aggravation stems from your own ignorance. You don't seem to understand the copious amounts of stress that are laid on my back. Everything has to fall onto it, and like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, it has to learn that it can't just fall over. But keep your perfect image. Keep yourself up. Don't fall, don't fail. Everything has to be perfect. Just smile. But I'm tired. All the expectations are slowly piling up, and I can't seem to keep up with them anymore. It is a hill that is too steep to climb, where you wait at the top. And you don't realize it because it's under your feet, but the hill is too high. I can't climb it fast enough to meet you, and I'm tired and out of breath. And I overexert my body where I know I'll lose the only energy that I have left, that you didn't suck from my body. I don't have the energy anymore. And you curse my dirty room as if I want it to be this way. You don't understand that it is a way of life for me. It's where all my secrets and sadness hide. They hide from your watching eyes, where you can't see the scared child hiding under the covers. Instead of sweet nothings, I hear a scolding, clean your room. But I can't. I wish I knew how to clear away all the dirty pride left behind in this room, the fallen dignity and innocence that used to exist. The small twin bed that's pillows were consumed by fallen tears that have cleared up and dried away from existence. And you insist that my room has to be cleaned. But a bed is just a bed, and a room is just a room. What do you not understand? I'm not crazy. Why are you never on my side? It's always me against you. We're never allies. We are both war-torn countries, destroyed and tired from wearing one another down. But you aren't worn down. You continue to suck and take all my resources, and the more I resist, the more I lose the will to keep fighting. You always want to be the last one standing, the one who gets the last word. You leave no room for anyone else. And you endorse my older paramour. They always get good grades. They never act out or talk back. Why can't you be more like them? Stop acting crazy. I'm not crazy. It's always me versus you and them, but blood is supposed to be thicker than water, right? Even though you'd be the first to turn on me, you too. Because then those insults are thrown back and forth and alludes to one thing I know I'm not. You're crazy, like really crazy. Be careful, she's acting real crazy. I'm not crazy. Why are you acting so crazy all of a sudden? I'm not crazy. Look at her, she's doing it again. I'm not crazy. For once, why can't you not be crazy? I'm not crazy. If I would have known that having these expectations on my back given to me by you, would I have even tried to begin with? You seem to push me to the edge without me even realizing. If I was aware of all the constant pushing and arguing and collision, then maybe I might have believed I'm not crazy. Thank you.
Ooh, y'all, powerful, absolutely powerful. You getting love in the chat too, Sierra. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for willing to bring sometimes the heaviness that can come with a piece into this space. I heard you don't understand the time and the effort that I put into understanding you. I heard I am tired and clearing away the dirty pride. Ooh, first of all, visual, absolutely visual, but also gut wrenching. I definitely relate to feeling like maybe a relationship doesn't have the balance that you need it to. You're asking and you're not getting, and you're giving but not receiving. Come on, y'all. Ooh, loud exhale. Let's try and get balance in our lives. Let's try to ask for the things that we need, be clear communicators. Snaps for that. Snaps for healing. Thank you, Sarah. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Judges, go ahead and come up with your scores. Go ahead and tabulate. Let the poem marinate. Let the poem sit into you. And we're gonna have just 2 more poems coming up. It's a short one today, and it is a powerful one already. It is packing a punch. So on deck, not coming up right now, but on deck we have Anaya. But coming up to the mic right now, give it all your love, give it all your snaps, open your ears, open your hearts for Mahader.
Cause I knew cats would do anything they could.
Failed are the children left hungry, tired, cold, longing for a sense of hope in a world that cares so little for their well-being. We were 6th graders with no sight for the future, fixated on the sorrow of today, the hunger of yesterday, the poverty of tomorrow in a prison cell of a classroom. Walking in a straight line, hands behind your back, tied, stress enclosed my mind. I had too much for a child. We lay to waste in thin-walled classrooms. We were 6th graders, screwing the blades off of handheld weapons. Before school began, sleeves were pulled down, routinely checked, sometimes comforted, sometimes shamed. There was a girl that made it her mission to collect the blades, and on her escapades fell the mighty beast. That was more so the villain's dog. The villain is a poisonous tree that has yet to be uprooted. It towers over, casting smothering shade, blocking out the light that is joy. I bleed empty for its victims. I shed tears for the blood lost. I bless the scars as they heal on my skin. Failed is the child whose world is chafed, worn thin. Apathetic are the ones who gaze down from steeples, glaring down at the lion's pit. How soon will they end the massacre or fall in? Who will push them? Fail to the next generation doesn't have to be. Thank you.
Yes, all the snaps. Ooh, yes, yet another powerful piece. Yet another one that I'm like, oh, it's gonna stay with me for a while. I heard we lay to waste in walled classrooms. I bless the scars as they heal on my skin. Come on, poet, come absolutely through. I'm here for blessing the scars. I'm here for praying over our future, for imagining something for us that may be difficult to see when we look around right now. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you for bringing us into your world. Thank you for showing us what you see. Thank you for letting us be a part of your healing as well. Everybody snap it up for healing. Judges, I'm gonna keep asking you to do this. I know it's hard, but go ahead and think. Come up with your score. Let the poem sit in your body. Let the words wash over you.
Yes, I also hear healing is the real revolution in the chat. Absolutely snaps up for that. We only have one more poet for y'all this evening. Only one more. I am saddened to hear this. I am blessed by the two pieces that we've already heard, blessed by the calibration poet. So let's keep that energy going. Let's keep this good sharing and all this openness going for our last poet. I want you to give them all the love, all the snaps for Anaya.
I move like water. I hold pressure, uncontainable. Mama said, let them tears flow, baby girl. This world don't want to hold you. It wants to bottle you up and ship you off to the next buyer. Don't let it kill you. Gives you no solitude in this thing we call life. This way we cope. This way we drain. This way we evaporate, disappear. I need you to know these things. I am water. Water is woman. Woman is earth. Earth is me. When the water sings, I listen. Something's telling me that she's being bothered and her body is being exploited, taken for granted. Men like to come and pour themselves a cup of her and have the nerve to get angry because she's too salty on their tongue. They have the nerve to use her body and trash it like they have no home training, but often forget that her body is home to many. She allows you to dip your hands, wash your hands after you dirtied your fingers with her blood, how you submerge yourself between her legs just to wash away your pain while she lies there. Stand still, filled with your pollution, not a peep, not a sound or a whisper, until you feel her thunder. As you taste her on your lips, the sweet scent of salvation forces you to awaken her to speak curses or blessings. When the water speaks, I listen. She says, I will not continue to be sucked dry by men whose only intent is to take advantage of her. Makes no sense to me why we create water guides, but water guides us on her own, which is why I dance when the water dances, not just to comfort her, but to show you that two bodies can create oceans, rivers, lakes, ponds, life. When water cries, I cry. I hear her weep as she is beaten with the same hands that are supposed to nurture her. When they try to contain her because they say she is too powerful. Water laughs at this statement, and I laugh too. When she gets angry, I feel that anger. I listen when water reminds me that people are fearful of women with large bodies like us. Think it's funny how people believe water is blue when she actually has the brownness of skin. Just take a look beneath her surface. Think it's funny how when she shows you her real color, all you see is dirty or unclean, or how you see her brownness is unsafe when that's when my mother gave birth to me. This is yet another reason why, when water is sad, I feel that sadness. When her heart aches, mine does too. I often sit back and see how only a fool would mistake her tears as waves because the water's tired. The water is tired. So she'll change something's in the water to someone's in the water because the water's talking. Ask Yamaya. Ask Yamaya how she opens up her mouth and roars with thunder because yet another children dies. Because they ingested the lead forced into her body by broken men. So I look into her eyes and see that when she has fear, I have fear. I have fear that one day she will disappear and we will never hear from her again. When water speaks, I speak. I speak back to the rumors saying that it's okay to hurt her, beat her, use her body unjustly like commodity, but ooh, honey child, let me tell you how they have the audacity to sell our bodies on billboards, ads, how they sexualize us, try to separate us, like how they leave us on the street like we are nothing. Like how they take our shape, our size, our purpose, and drain our energy while they obliterate their memory of her, of me, of you, her children. Water is here to make it clear that nothing is to be owned, to make it clear that water is sacred. And if we lose water, we'll lose earth. And if we lose earth, we will not live to see her sing, dance, cry, laugh. And if we ignore water, the only thing we will get to see her do is die. And that's why when she sings, I sing her blessing. Take me down to the river, take me down to the stream, take me down to the ocean, and at the end you will find me. Take me down